If I really have to pick one, I'd go for Zidane, who, when he was playing for Real Madrid, was balletic, beautiful, just so smooth. It was like he was on roller skates. You know, he never really ran. He just slid over the ground. And what he couldn't do with the football wasn't worth knowing about. You know, how can you not love Messi and how can you not love Ronaldo? But if you're pinning me down, I'm going Zidane.
Zidane, when I was playing first time against Zizou, I was in midfield. He got the ball, he made a movement before, and then the ball was literally like 2 meters there, his body there. I was here, there was no chance to take away the ball actually.
I don't think I've played against anybody like Zidane, like you say, who gets their body in between you and the ball as perfectly.
Yeah.
And the timing of it, and then the motion, the way he played, it was like, it's impossible almost to find the ball and see the ball because he was a big guy as well.
And he knows exactly what he has to do next, like quick thinking, quick brain.
Zidane was special. Couldn't get the ball off him. He was massive. He was physically strong, obviously technically good, mentality good. He was just the all-round. But it was the biggest surprise I've ever had on a football pitch. I actually wasn't even on the football pitch, lining up. We're lining up to go against him, against Juventus. And I just stood next to him. He was just massive. I just thought, you'd see him on the telly and you just thought he wasn't that big. And just wasn't over physical player, but he just used his body in the right way and just, you couldn't get the ball off him. No, he'd always protect the ball on the opposite side and you could not get near the ball because of his size.
What do you mean to say about this? The guy was a freak. Not normal what he was doing. I mean, people are actually realize how good he was. There's nothing to say about that. But, you know, when Zizou was on tune, there's nothing you could do. Unstoppable. You couldn't get the ball off his feet. Graceful. He could score the odd goal at times, as you know. Vision, forget about it. But just the way his body used to go and being able to maintain and retain the ball and gliding past people like they were not there, but still keeping that, it was more than elegant. You know, it was just like, it's very difficult to do that, run, beat people and do that with your feet. You're not supposed to have that much ability and touch with your feet. But hey, we're talking about Zinedine Zidane. I mean, what a player. And the stuff that he used to do in training also, same thing. You know, like he used to try, it wasn't even an invention or try stuff. It just comes, it's a normality for him. It's just normal. The way he controls that ball, the way he dribbles, the way he shoots, the way he goes about it, it was just at times unstoppable.
Zidane was the best player I've ever played with. He was absolutely born to be a footballer. It was almost, you know, when you're a kid and you've got the football at the end of a string and it just keeps coming back to you. I mean, it was like he played with an invisible string. No matter what touch he took, it was always the same distance away from him. The way he moved, like if a ball comes into my chest and I want to go over there, or most people, you chest it, you wait for it to drop, and then you take another touch and then you're off. He just had this amazing, wherever the ball came, if it came up around his ear or anywhere, he could just take it into the direction that he wanted to in one touch and it be in perfect control, you know, just always 3-4 foot ahead of him. He was just incredible. Left foot, right foot, fast. He was so fast, so strong. He could do a Cruyff turn out of a little hole and burst away, and the strength of the guy as well. I was quite scared of him, to be honest, but no, he was just incredible. What a player he was.
You know, I can't even describe, you know, how good the guy was. I mean, I saw stuff that he was doing in the training session. Well, everybody was fighting as defenders to be with him rather be against him because you didn't want to be humiliated by him. And with all the smile, that's the worst.
Zidane is like Paris without the Eiffel Tower. But the class, like, he can twist his ankle. He have like some flexible and the touch.
Zidane, I was in love with Zidane, how he played. I faced him in national team France, it was a headache all the time.
Zidane.
Artist.
The artist. One of our guys was supposed to mark him like man to man. And every time he was coming close to him,
you know why? Honestly, people still to this day don't realise how big he was. The best thing when I used to play against Zidane, the technical advice they would give me is, just kick him, you know. That was the technical advice. And I used to say, you know, he's 6'2", you know, he can deal with that. What I loved about Zidane, he was nasty. He done it in the big games. You run about the Euros. He done it in the big club matches. He turned up.
Jibril, what was Zidane like as a player and as a guy? Speak to me.
There is like, this kind of player that you look at him and you say, no, we don't do the same job. Like he was football and I was playing football.
Yeah.
So I was playing, but he was what I wanted to do. Like even it wasn't like crazy skills, like Ronaldinho kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But everything was like so clean. The control clean, the pass clean. Even the gesture of the, like, I was shooting the same, but it wasn't the same. The gesture was nice. Everything was clean. I was like the chest, boom, boom, goal, the ball stay. Me, sometimes the goal go here. I have to do like crazy movements to catch the ball. Everything was clean and perfect. I was like, that's a different level of football.
Team have to choose Zidane. Zidane is the greatest. I think he's
the best you played with?
He's the best of the best.
Wow.
He's the best of the best because for me the best player is always the one who make other players look really good. And when people ask me who's your best player you ever played with, I always say Zidane.
He was an artist on a football pitch. He was beautiful to watch. I'd definitely pay a lot of money to go and watch. He's done things that were special, different, that it made the game beautiful.
Zinedine Zidane, absolute genius. He was someone that I loved watching. Just his effortless style. He was quick and strong, and he was hard in the tackle, but probably the most gifted footballer. Up there was certainly with Diego Maradona. So comfortable in possession.
Artist.
Beautiful to watch. Yeah, an artist. Exactly right. Someone who can. He gets you off your seat with 1-2 touches. The flicks, the tricks, but everything had an end product and. Some big goals in big games, and that's why he's in there.
It's the main man, Zizi, had to be. Listen, I love him. I didn't get the pleasure of getting on the pitch against, but his career, he's the best midfielder I've seen, and he had everything. He could score a goal, but he was a magician.
Who did you idolise as a player when you were growing up?
Zinedine Zidane. When I was a kid, he was for me one of maybe the best player in the world. And I played in a similar position like him, so I liked to watch him a lot.
He was one of my idols when I was a football player. I was so difficult. I played against him when he played in national team with friends, and I saw him a lot. He was one of the greatest.
The best player I've ever played with, Zidane.
People used to turn up to the Bernabeu just to see him controllable. He's like a ballerina when he plays.
I played in a very star-studded team, and I always said Zinedine Zidane was probably the greatest player. Very graceful, but on the field he was, an absolute superstar.
As an opponent, how highly did you rate Zizou as a player?
He was one of the very best. Could easily be the best I've played against. Special talent, very silky, smooth. But not just that, he had that bit of nastiness about him as well. He was a big lad, strong lad, physical. What a sensational football player. And sometimes these are the type of ones you don't really like playing against because they're that good. I just remember being close to him. Every now and again, it wasn't easy to get close to him. We had a few ding-dongs, I suppose. And he was one of them people, if you tried to tackle him, you bounced off him. And he gave you a look, a stare, because as I say, he had a really aggressive streak about him. He was very stern, could give you, as I say, he could be really physical against you, he could give you a right look, which would scare a lot of people. And he really was the best in the world. You think about what he did in the game, European Cup, scoring European finals, World Cups, European Championships. These are the proper players, these are the world-class players.
He can control it, look at this. This might be the greatest player I've ever seen, Zinedine Zidane. Please don't give up the game.